process it. Mine took 18 days, so they're not certainly ahead of time. And then you'll get a registration invoice to pay, and that happens very quickly then once you pay it. Once you get the email saying it's ready to pay, you'll see the link to your call sign. Your call sign will say it's the license is there not granted. Then you'll pay the money, and within about 36 hours it'll be granted and you're good to go. So that's the first part. The second question was, come back to me again with the second part of it. Second part of the question is connecting the IC705 to my wireless hotspot, for example, from my iPhone. Over. Okay, roger that. No, not possible. Sorry. Phone networks don't provide fixed IP addresses. They get natted, which is a way for them to use very few IP addresses continuously, and so yeah, it's not a simple process where you need a fixed IP address and route and forward a port. You can't forward a port out of your phone because the IP address changes without you knowing it. So that's not possible to use. It's not possible to use the hotspot for your terminal mode and access point mode. Over. VK2 Mmdvt, this is VK16. Yeah, noted. Also, did a little bit of research with Telstra, and they do offer a service for a fixed IP. Over. Look at that, that's what you need then. That's what you need. Whatever it might be, I mean, they do offer that service for routers. Their NBN service, but if you can get one for your phone, by all means, get it and let us all know what it costs to get that service done. Over. Yeah, I'll certainly look into it. Yeah, doing some research, because that would be really handy if you could go via mobile via the 4G network. That would just yeah, that would be an amazing thing to be able to do. Over. VK2JAX with the comment. VK2JAX, come back. Yeah, this is a comment for VK1FLEX. I'm not entirely sure whether you'll be able to swim this with Telstra, but if you can get an APN called Telstra.extranet on your SIM card, that will give you a public IP address. I don't know whether it will be static, but I'm just thinking whether you can get a bit complicated and tricky and perhaps use like a reverse SSH proxy tunnel to get into a device to give you a static IP address. There might be some ways around it, but it certainly wouldn't be an easy solution. Yeah, but just some ideas there. Over. VK2 Mmdvt returning. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Scott. And yeah, I know there is a bit of trickiness there, and I know a lot of people have given up trying. But all good to anyone who wants to continue the effort. So over to you, Drew. Please give it your best shot, and please, whatever you do, tell us all about it. Over.
Se numește Stecul de Telorman, în nordul județului. Mi-am făcut un amplasament aici ușor, cu antene de HF și așa mai departe. Ce n-am avut în tinerețe am avut la bătrânețe, dar acolo mai e propagare. Degeaba ai greble destule care macină cerul, eterul, dacă propagare nu e. Cam asta este. Încolo nimic deosebit. Mai mă bucur și eu de realizările voastre, de deplasările voastre și așa mai departe. După cum știi, l-am urmărit cu stăruință. Y3IT, Y3FBD. Y3 Tango India, Y3FBD. Păi, da, nu, a fost absolut superb acolo. Deci chiar m-am simțit foarte bine. Acum asta făceam, editam filmele, tot ce am filmat pe acolo, editam, scoteam ce nu trebuie să apară în online. Și mă uitam pe poze și îmi reaminteam așa, a fost absolut superb. Deci chiar m-am simțit bine, îi povesteam lui Cristi că de mult, eu personal de mult nu am mai avut câteva zile în care să mă simt efectiv realmente fericit. Deci acum m-am simțit foarte bine. Da, poate, nu știu, data viitoare poate veniți și dumneavoastră. Ce vreau să vă mai zic, știu de antenă și știu de locație, mi-a arătat Cristi filmulețul ăla cu ridicarea pilonului. E impresionant și felicitări, este chiar foarte, foarte interesant ce acolo. Că nu știu, poate nu facem o vizită odată, că până la urmă poate astea sunt chestiile care contează. Da, eu că trebuie să FPD, că trebuie tango India. Roger, ok. Păi nu știu, când s-o dat drumul. Mulțumesc de chemare, sănătate pentru tine, familie. Și îmi pare bine că a fost ok acolo și fiecare a dat în el, în stropul lui acolo din el, că știi ce ție nu-ți place, altuia nu-i face într-un grup când ești acolo, trebuie să mergi pe ideea, hai mă, dacă a zis ăla că e ok așa facem, știi? Mai lași de la tine, mai iei de la altul și așa mai departe, ca să iasă weekendul fain acolo frumos. Bravo vouă, cinste vouă, să mai faceți de-astea, eventual și cu alte scopuri, eventual cu ușoare concursuri din astea Y și așa mai departe, până 2 metri, cred că aveți și cu ce și din ce. Y3 IT, Y3 FBD, salve! Da, toate cele bune, cu multe 73 să ne auzim cu bine și poftă bună dacă n-ați mâncat încă. Să aveți și o zi în continuare, o zi minunată, București, soare și plăcut. Toate cele bune, 73, Y3 Foxtrot, Bravo, Delta, Y3 Tango India, rămân la recepție. Da, păi nu, l-aștept pe Cristi, cred că într-o oră maxim e aici. Bine, maestre, te salut, toate cele bune, gânduri bune. Y3 India Tango India Miron, Y3 Fox Bravo Delta Nicu, îți vreau o zi bună, sănătate, mulțumesc.
On the GPS transmission, but yeah, that's a little bit of another trick. But I didn't get your splash screen there, Scott. But I know I did get someone's. But anyway, back to you, Drew. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, VK1 Flex, Red 30. I'm going to go to short break and get a cup of tea before this IC705 net starts this evening. Over. Roger that, Drew. We haven't given it that name, but it could become that. Anyway, VK2 MET standing by for another 10 to 15 minutes before we start the net. I'll be calling the net at 8:30. And I'm assuming that the three of you might be in the net, so I'll put you on the list. Otherwise, I'll be standing by for anyone else who's coming in RF and wanting to check in. Over.
is Echo Alpha 3 Alpha Radio Normal.
Des dernières acquisitions, si je peux dire ça comme ça. Je te retourne, oui, bah, je suis là pour 3 semaines, hein, donc on aura sûrement encore l'occasion de s'entendre hein, sans aucune difficulté. Je te retourne le micro F5TTB, F1PTL à ton écoute.
The Catalanian Spain, Gazelle. Microphone back to you, Pablo.
Fort que je lui ai vidé la batterie. Hein. Donc j'étais sur le relais Saint-GDLS, le relais Bordeaux. Et j'ai essayé toutes les rooms à gauche ou à droite, hein, en passant par la room Europe, la room YSF France évidemment, le ZIT. Donc j'ai fait un petit QSO hier sur le network, le Fusion Canada FR, enfin j'ai édité, c'est un QSO tous les samedis à 18h, donc j'y suis rentré. Et j'ai été accueilli à bras ouverts, hein, si tu veux, pour mon premier QSO sur le dessin que j'ai édité. Voilà, ça fonctionnait. Et puis là, il est en charge. Donc, les conditions de trafic, eh bien, c'est DV-Link, hein, DV-Link avec des chartés derrière. Voilà. Ça pour les conditions de trafic. Et écoute, je ne vais pas te retenir plus longtemps. Je vais te souhaiter de très bonnes vacances. Merci de m'avoir répondu. Merci pour ce sympathique QSO. Et puis, les 88 à ton QRA, si tu me l'autorises. Et la cordiale poignée de main le bon dimanche. Et puis à très bientôt pour un autre QSO dans d'aussi bonnes conditions. C'était 5 TTB qui te retourne le micro pour le final.
Oui, pas de souci. F5TTB, F1PT le Bruno qui reprend. Pas de problème, bah écoute, ouais, bah, ça va le faire. Hein. Là, les vacances, c'est fait pour justement se relaxer et faire un petit peu autre chose. Hein, et puis, et glandouiller un petit peu aussi, hein, ça fait du bien. donc on en profite, voilà, avec mon épouse. Donc je te souhaite une bonne fin de dimanche, si je peux dire ça comme ça, mes amitiés au curat familial également, si tu me le permets, et bien sûr au plaisir de te réentendre. On va basculer là sur le midi, donc au plaisir et bien sûr à la prochaine hein, sans aucun problème. F5TTB, F1PTL qui en termine 73 à toi et 73 OSWL à l'écoute. Bye bye.
Well, here, just to speak to the sort of 500 to speak a little word, John. From James here, of NRT. I don't know if Bruce M6 BWS is on QRZ.
You could maybe send him an email last time. Certainly I'll speak to him the next time I hear him on. That's an idea. I'll maybe do that. I don't remember what I spoke to. I think it was the NG or something like that, probably, I think. I tried to go a wee while ago now. And he wasn't out in his car right enough. I'm not sure if he's got a driving job. That was something else a while ago. Yeah, he works for his father's business, I think. He's a joiner. So he drives about in a van. I pick up types of vans, so I don't know. Yeah, well, building now is somewhere up in your call sign and everything, so it's good for the 700. No, it's all working fine as per your instructions here. But toying with the idea, maybe I should just get rid of the 5100. But I'll see what I speak to first. Because I'm going to lose some money if I go and sell it, eBay and buy a 7100. Yeah, well, remember now on the price of the cable that you bought as well. Then I can't have all be used for anything else. But you've always got your call sign, and I got /9700. I've been playing with the 5100. I haven't got on to do that on this one. I'll maybe do that next. I was this is called MM6BWS, yeah? That's correct, yeah. I was speaking to Jim this morning, so I remember when ZUK was up still in hell. Well, Jim for OBD Graham, Ellen, worked him using his little, what do you call it, halo, little 2-inch halo antenna. Good results, he was saying. Yeah, well, I suppose with higher frequency, the antennas get a bit more manageable. The accuracy becomes, I think, millimeters, we call the difference. But that's good. Yeah, tough up in there, man, for what? Next time he's got any spare materials. I suppose they're easy enough to mark, but the dimensions. I think Graham's got the dimensions. Funnily enough, when I was speaking to that John Turner from ICOM, the boss down at ICOM, Helen Bay, that's what he uses to work through their 23 centimetre repeater. He doesn't live that far away from it, but he says all he uses is a halo. And he gets good results, even simplex the other stations and about. Horizontal polarization. So how because imagine it be lying on a horizontal earth. I think that's the only way you can use it. Or can you use it in vertical, but then it would be directional, wouldn't it? Yeah, so that would be horizontal polarization. Yeah, but like I said, it's the okay. So Graham's will be, of course, it's homemade. Yeah, of course it would be. Yeah, I wonder about 13 centimeters. So we wouldn't be very big at all. It's a cute little thing. Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be an interesting thing to make. And to go up and try out. John, no, I've put this call sign into Goomer's head, but he's not coming up as register. Okay, well, 2M0 Bravo Oscar Oscar, Jason, come in, please.
2M0 Bravo Oscar Oscar Mobile, standing hard. No, just put a review on. I was just in the shop. He's not here, okay? Yeah, the pair, I guess. Well, I've got 9 aerials I made for 3 sems here. So I need the paint can. I'm sure I've still got it. In the Blue. And that was pretty good, that. Just the Menina Gold Missile.
I used a pen, I remember that one. Because I was weird to West Hill. Quite a good signal. Right, question. Do you have a 5100, Jason?
A 7100, I had a 7100, so I'm using it now.
Yeah, because Bill was bought a second-hand 5100, but it's only going to be REF reflectors, so you can't put on the DCSX, LX, and XLS. Apparently you can't put the electric program on that.
Talk group 91. Can somebody please give me a radio check, please, over?
Q1 PVZ and 3CNC Q5 into the
Shift Alpha Mike Kilo via rolling, vă răspunde. Q5 la Craiova, microfonul la Brașov. Schimbat.
Iar la vede, dacă modulație frumoasă și liniștită, calmă, așa de duminică, ce faceți la vede? 7 Alfa mai kilo, 7-3.
Ok, Stănică. Q5 încă o dată pentru dumneata în condiții foarte bune aceea, că am văzut și mai devreme. Au ocupat pe acei cu niște treburi prin garaj, fac niște pitrocel pe aici, niște aranjamente, mai descurc de ceva că probabil săptămâna următoare o să mă duc un pic pe la țară și mai duc câte ceva după aceea pe boarfe de ăștia care le am în plus, cum să zice. Și bineînțeles îmi pregăti și niște bidoane ca să iau niște muști de acolo, de la verișoara mea, care culege via. Cam ăștia sunt problemele la ordinea zilei. Restul încolo, ce să zic, vreme frumoasă la care vă uite. Adio un pic vântul, dar e senin. De dimineața a fost cam răcoare, 10 grade. Dar acum, în cursul zilei, e destul de călduț, de 20 ceva de grade. Nici m-am uitat la termometru. Dar dacă stai afară la soare, deja se simte bine. Cam asta este situațiunea pe la Craiova. Microfonul la dumneata, Y6, interes și mobil, Y7 Alfa Mike Kilo, vă ascultă cu plăcere.
Rege de la vede, păi la fel și la Brașov, să știți, vreme frumoasă, senin, soare, cald, 25 de grade, hai să zicem spre 30, tot așa, rece la umbră, dar la soare arde de te învinețește. Mă bucur să vă reaud de la vede. Pentru bune, sănătate maximă și permanentă și duminică frumoasă. Dar totuși, duminica lucrați acolo, nu mai lucrați. Duminica e zi de pauză. 7-3, sănătate multă și să ne reauzim cu plăcere de fiecare dată.
Plăcerissimo, Stane, în totalitate, în condiții foarte bune. Ce să zic? Să zic și eu la mulți ani, că am înțeles că și ieri au mai fost niște sărbătoriți, probabil mai sunt și astăzi. Și noi avem unul pe aici prin Craiova care astăzi serbează și el zi de naștere, așa că să le urăm de sănătate la toți și bineînțeles și nouă care ne mai trebuie câte un pic de sănătate. Y6 Iteremobil, Y7 Alfa Mike Kilo. Numai bine și să ai vreme bună acolo la Brașov, la, cum zicea cineva, la Brașoave, dar nu, mai glumim cu Brașoavele, dar mai bine zis la Kronstadt. Numai bine, 7-3 și 7 Alfa Mike Kilo vă urează toate cele bune. Bye, bye!
Până la vede, 7-3 și spor la ce faceți dumneavoastră alături de urarea de duminică frumoasă. Numai bine! 7 Alfa Mike Kilo, să-i telemobil cu 7-3. Sănătate multă!
7-3 și la bună reauzire, eventual la QTC-ul de la Bistrița. Numai bine 7-3, Y6, Iteremobil, Y7 Alfa Mike Kilo, terminat.
The explosion walking out of boat at one time. It's kicking loose a square piece of mesh, thick steel mesh, would have been the reflector. It was drilling a hole and putting a piece of plastic tubing through it. And we cross-cut at the end to fit the bow tie onto the end. That was drilling that hole was getting me about 40 way up in case you said
It's not like I give. I've never answered before and I was looking for leading off. But if I might see a bolt into that boat ties and that, they're taking up the drills in. I was going to use them on a saw like this. I was going to use them on a lot like this, and then talk all about. So I've actually got them as well, pre-made, just to go on for whatever you want to build. But I'll tell you something, that wave guide thing I built would probably beat the hail, hands down. Like that would, and you can tell it for SSB or here, you pop out doing it against it while for AFM or fella. But that's a lot easier to build than that. What I'll do is I'll look at it today, and I'll give you that pin. I'll be at the right here. And this shall get from it. We just a case of stuck by the co-ops in it, and then that's it. We're all going to roll with it. So the helix is pretty, it's 6 foot long or something. The thing is, but it must be a fair game in it though, with the 32 tons. Like 12 days, I'm a lot of going up, man. See if Brian's on, see if he's always getting on. I'll use a ship, or something. For the 2M0 Bravo, Star, Mobile and Darby.
Yes, okay, well, you're 7100. Lightning gear and GM4 ZUK shout these up to kill 104 meters a day sideband. The lightning gear I shout from the point.
And I got 4 meter twig on here. I could use the 6 meter and maybe take the top off it. It might work. If I could get the SWR, then I might get a laugh at that. But I'll tell you what I'm looking for, guys. Either a second-hand car heel or a second-hand Diamond SB330. You know, that automatic aerials, that's on one just now. But I'll leave you that, and I'll pull up a video back on when I get back.
Okay, Jason, certainly if I'm in a shot here, I'll be shout back. No problem. I'll be on GB7 Golf Delta anyway. Okay, Jason, take care, stay safe, and we'll catch up with you later. Ready you bell GM0RT 2M040.
This is Jason, nice to meet you from GM0RT. And they put it all my catch you later, guys. I'm back on the road again, and it's like 73 is the 2M0 Bravo across the over.
T-Bob.
Right. Yeah, certainly that helix at GSM, he took it with the Genesis. We could do that and visit in the John Pui done with his big dish. What size that thing is, it's heavy. But we managed to go into the dash and I because you're beating the wall accuracies. I mean, Z and all the rest of the beacons. Just it needs a good stubby. It's quite heavy, very, very heavy. Copper tube and wound. But the pin down, that was a fantastic idea, that. Brand new pin down for them doing frog hole. Just someone doing last day, he can buy it. So he made a lot of reliable thing for inside it and sealed it off. And he was up West Hill Heights for it, and we wouldn't want in a handheld. Pretty good, pretty damn good it was there, Val. Back to you.
GMC's right after you turning, yeah, I can imagine, yeah. Especially got location like that, but imagine even the beacons and all that, it must be good conditions, HD flat, I think. But yeah, it's when they get areas get that big, and especially at that frequency, when they get up the end and stuff, it all affects the gain and that. It gets more and more critical when you get up here. But anyway, I'll just work away with the collinear. And I've got the 18 helmet here, that's plenty. I'm not going to bother with anything else really, but I would be interested in the Halo just for a bit of fun, just to try it out. I would be interested there.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll just keep me ear open for somebody with a 5100 and see what the remedy might be. Because feeling that, I'll have to get back on eBay and sell a few things so we can get money together for maybe get a 7100. But that's not a new radio either, so maybe you just never know what iPod might be coming up with next. That's the thing, isn't it? Back to you, John, from NRT. Mmdvt, well, whoever looks will be next when I be cheap. Especially since this unit we're using just now is the last version of the three bands. But, like I said, anything else that comes with you want to be cheap. But the 7100, I had one of those. Good rig. It's got a monochrome screen, that's all. And you could certainly play about with that. Plus it's got 4 meters as well. It was just when you got your 9700 now, I was looking at videos on YouTube about them. That's why I shelved mine to get this 9700. That's the only reason I shelved my 7100 for. It's a 3-part thing. It's got the main unit, the head unit which contains a speaker, and then it's got that big mains filter and a big square box that I used to hear before. So it's in a 3-part thing. Good radio, absolutely good radio. With the HF 4 meters and the 2 and 70. So good luck up your own mind there, Bill. But certainly a good rig to get, you know. Right, we'll leave on just now then, and we'll touch a wheel there on GM0NRT 2M0 FIG is back to you for final. GM0NRT for final, yeah. So I'll have to read up on it. I'm making a rush into this one. But just quickly, there's a 7100 unit. They have to monitor 2 bands at the same time. Yes, I can, right? Honestly, I can't remember. It's quite a big screen. I can't imagine if you could hear one above the other, or you've got to select them individually. You'll have to YouTube it there, but honestly, I can't remember. I had it for years too. But I was on just GB7 Golf Delta, or else I changed it to 4 meters and hit a wreck. Honestly, can't remember, Bill. That's okay, I thought maybe just would remember. So my other things you look it up. Just look up the spec when the manufacturer's selling it. I suppose that'd be the way to do it. Okay, thanks for the chat. Thanks for coming back to me there. And catch you later, John. 2M0 FIG, GM0 NRT. Yes, okay, Bill. Catch you wheel it up to M0 FIG. Just listening. Bye-bye. Please.
As I was saying, Bob, those sort of speeds are quite incredible to me if you can get that on the internet. But as I say, certainly the audio is very, very good. I don't know what you think, but on this fusion mode, there are a lot of stations. I don't know how my audio is actually coming out, but there's a lot of very poor audio on a lot of stations. I don't know what you think, Bob.
Yeah, Roger, you're a little bit broken at times, but I have never had any reports of it being broken this end anyway, because the FTM300D, you're talking about 400 picture off the radio, the Wires X HRI 200, you're a couple $100 there. This FT2
Greco 6, Foxy Yankee, Greco 6, osjećam.
Yeah, FT 89900, and that's a quad band set. So I've got a quad band set in the Land Rover when I go and do any rain network, and also there's a quad band there, and it's got crossband repeat and everything on it, and I'll have the FTM 300D, which is dual band plus fusion, RSX and everything in there, and that's got a crossband repeat and everything on it as well, and Bluetooth as well and everything on it. So I've got a lot of connections, and when I get my radio sorted out, I'll have 4-meter radio in there as well. So I'll have quite a range of communication. Yeah, I'm always doing that timing out. But I've got quite a lot of communications. If you have a look on my QRZ page, that's Mike 6 November. Mike 6 November, Victor Oscar, and back over to you.
Mike 6 NDO G1 HKR returning. I'll just leave the polls there. Fingers crossed, you never know, Colin might have been able to get in there. E0. QRZ, yeah, I will look it up. I keep keep meaning to register myself on that particular website. I've never bothered with it yet, but it is a handy database, isn't it? You know, just to look at stations that you're actually talking to. You can often see a photo and get a bit more information about the station that you're talking to. I've just recently rigged up a computer in this shack, which I can get a very poor signal from the house, but I can actually get the internet, so I can look these in Cheshire. That's Hack Green. I don't know if you've heard of that pub, but it's an interesting receiver to listen to. That you certainly sound like you've got a nice set of radios there. I'm pretty sure I've seen photos of the 300. That's one with the dual display, one on the top of the other, if you will. Very similar probably in operation to this 100 that I'm using here, but of course this only has the one display, so we'll as I say, have to think about getting one of these handy trophies a bit easier. You don't have to mess about rigging a power supply up, do you? So that is an advantage there. I'll make this a final now, Bob, if you don't mind. I've had a call from the house, and something going on in there, not sure what, but we'll go and find that, no doubt. So with that, very nice, and thanks for the report, Bob. You know, hopefully catch you again sometime further on, and as I say, I will
wireless and all sorts on it. Built in Bluetooth, and it's complete dual band, dual receive and everything on that, so you can receive on 2 stations at the same time and everything. I've also got set on the bench here the 7900 as well, and I've got set on the bench here as well FT 450D, that's my AGF set, which I've got to get range to get a hang of. And I've got three computers sat around me on the desk. And 2 power supplies and all sorts. It's quite amazing what I've got here. And I'm waiting to get one of these network radios. Should be here, hand up on. Should be here during the next 2 or 3 days. And so when I get that set up, that'll be quite handy as well. So anyway, I'll say 7-3 to you, and we'll catch you again later. So it's Mike 6, November, Victor Oscar, go and stand by.
Okay, I'm not T1 HKR with the final there. Thanks very much for the info again, and look forward to catching you sometime in the not too distant future. I'll just give that other station one final try before I go to RT, and then I'll have to go and see what the job is in the house. T0IYT G1HKR, have you got set up yet, Colin? Cheers, Bob. Bye from G1HKR, 7-3.
Yeah, 7-3. Catch you again sometime. Bye for now.
I know Dan and I have struggled back and forwards on this terminal on access mode, and we've got it working now, so we're very happy with it. We know the downfalls, but there are some pluses there too. I've put a couple of pluses up on the IC705 users' Facebook page when I've realised what the pluses are for terminal mode, even though you can't navigate freely. You've still got to put the domain name in each time, but to have it in reserve and jump from a hotspot over to terminal mode gives you, just another quick navigation tool to a popular reflector. Anyway, let's see what you have to say about the East network, Dan. VK2NAD from VK2NET in the group.
VK2NET in the group. This is VK2 November Alpha Delta. Yeah, I've been playing around with the 705 since I got it, about 10 days ago. And yeah, it is a bit of a learning curve, particularly because the D-Star terminology is unique, and each of the radio manufacturers seem to put in their manuals slightly different wording, and yeah, that can be confusing in the first place. And then when you find reflectors that nobody's talking on, you're not even sure you're working because they're not talking and you've got nobody to listen to. But the 227 Romanian station was good to test with, and now this XRF 735 is good. I think the Facebook 705 group will develop a bit more. Right now, it's everybody in the U.S. saying, "Oh, I just got my order confirmed," or "Oh, my thing has just been shipped." Okay, we're all going to go through that. Let's not broadcast it and use up bandwidth for that kind of nonsense. But that will settle down eventually, and then people will start using the radio a bit better. When Horst spoke last time after me, I couldn't understand anything. It was all garbled. And then there was a long period of silence after Horst before Alan, you came back. So I'm not sure if that was something on my end or if you all experienced it. But I'll pass on to Horst now. VK2 Hotel Lima. This is VK2 November Alpha Delta. sure whether I'm actually going into a hotspot and a handheld. I'm using my little handheld ID51. I'm not sure if that dropped out. But yeah, what I would suggest to all the VK2 people, at least, or maybe everyone, just send a short email to VK2NB at mwrs.org.au, and also maybe to committee at nwrs.org.au, and just inquire about the repeater and see if you can get an answer out of them. That may be a good idea, just a word.
I will contact you after the net and get these email addresses. I'm not familiar with them, other people may be. I'll get the email addresses you're referring to and pass them around to the group, and I will certainly put some words together for encouragement in the direction. But I'll come back to you in a minute, Torst. Sorry we lost you. I'll go on because Mike and Glenn are there and joined late. VK2 AMF, Mike, to take it and tell us what you know about the D-Star network so far, over. VK2 NET returning, just clarify who's there. Maybe Rob, VK2HR, can you confirm I'm coming through? I didn't get anything from Mike, VK2 AMF, but if you can confirm I'm coming through, I'll give him another call out, over.
Oh, this is VK2. Yeah, I've got copy with you, Alan, on Fusion through the coordinate array, and you're coming through also on Mono's WN. Over.
MET returning. Thanks, Glenn. Okay, to clarify what I heard, VK2 AMF, Mike, I didn't hear anything from you, and after a while I asked Rob to come back. Rob came back on YSF through Quadnet, but then Glenn took over. So, Rob, I'll come back to you, but I want to give Mike another chance to come back in. I'm not sure why Glenn obviously heard Mike, but I didn't. Maybe some others did. But let's try it again. VK2 AMF from VK2 MET. I'm coming through VK1 RWN gateway. Not sure which way you're coming in, Mike. Mike, take it. VK2 MET returning and acknowledging VK1WJ, but still nothing heard from Mike, VK2 AMF. So I'll give a call back to Rob because I did hear Rob. Maybe Rob heard Mike, VK2 AMF, before I call you in VK1WJ. So over to you, Rob, VK2HR from VK2 MET. Over.
VK2HR returning. Thanks, Alan. I'll just come in now via my hotspot via my DSAR radio, and I didn't hear Mike at all, but I did hear Glenn. So, and I was just wondering whether Mike is coming in via RF direct to 1RWN, perhaps. In which case, I'll wander out of my shack and see if I can hear him. But anyway, no copy on Mike VK2MF. Back to you, Alan. VK2MET, VK2HR.
I wonder if you copied me now, Alan, from VK2 AMF.
VK2 MET returning, yes. Mike, loud and clear now. I'm not sure what Rob and I couldn't hear you the last two overs. So good to have you on board. Just tell us what you were on before and what you are now, which makes a difference. VK2 AMF to take it.
Yeah, VK2 FMET in the group, VK2 AMF returning. Now going in via the hotspot connected to VK1RWNC. And I was previously on RF into the repeater. So I think the repeater doesn't seem to be talking through the network, I suspect. Back to you there, Alan. Over.
VK2 MET returning. Oh, that's a shame. I thought, well, the last time we did this, we did have several people coming RF and through the gateway, so maybe the repeater needs a bit of a reboot or something. But anyway, I'll think about that. Good to have you on board, Mike. And just before we go on, I mean, I don't know what you've heard, but you did hear, hopefully, that the VK2 RWN is off the air. And we've got Horst giving us an email address to offer our urgent advice to maintain that D-Star repeater and keep the network alive. VK5 RWN in Adelaide is off the air temporarily, not because of decision, but VK2 RWN seems to be a decision to take it off the air because they think D-Star is a dead environment.
Da, m-ai întrebat. Cum s-a ieșit până la urmă, discuție.
Da, parcă ți-am spus că am schimbat cablul la scurte până la urmă. Antena mai trebuie să mai scurtez, dar n-am mai apucat. E un pic mai lungă. Dar n-am mai avut timp. Nu. Avea alte cele pe la Boița și am lăsat-o mai mare cu antena la față. Nici nu am avut timp să ne punem stația. În schimb, pe digitale m-am mai făcut teste cu OVY, cu 5 OVY în Star, cu 9 Alfa Bravo Golf, Alfa Bravo Kilo. Și cu 2 OCPI să răspund pe Star acolo. Mi-am jucat. Mergem în două astea simple suzonațe, merge foarte bine. Nodul de la repetorul la Boița, ăla cu 439-800, parcă pierde la început. Deci are primele 2-3 secunde, pierde, după care merge foarte bine. Nu știu ce e acolo. În DML mere bine, în Star face figur. Probabil că o să are ceva mai treabă făcută pe acolo, cine știe. În rest, nimic deosebit. Eco Romeo 1 Vox, M6 2 Charlie Kilo.
No clouds, sunny day, about 20 degrees. Your signal also good, loud and clear here from my side.
Reprogram.
So then I realize it's working. So now I can use my FD2D. I can use it now upstairs or anywhere.
Deci patrofe. Dar și nu mai fost și eu. Să mă joc tare, știi, nu mă retrage. Dar băieții acolo s-o mai jucat, s-o mai testat. Și au zis că merge, se aude, funcționează, nu știu, dar zic că acolo depinde, probabil, nu știu ce spun, dar cred că depinde cum sunt programate stațiile, știi, de pe repertor. Și lărgime de bandă acolo sunt programate ele. Cred eu că ar fi asta, nu știu. La tine înapoi.
Nu știu ce zici tu, dar totuși, dacă ne gândim bine, trebuia să nu meargă tot timpul, sau cum să spun. Din moment ce numai primele 3 secunde la început nu merge, după aia merge normal, nu cred că e problema de stație, cred că ceva se pe pe la repertor, pe la modul de lucru de stare e problema, la DMR merge bine. Și astea două să activate, DMR-ul și de stare. Nu am vrut să mă joc cu ele. Ce Mmdvt nu e activat. Atunci când l-a făcut Răzvan, o să nu știe cu ce Mmdvt cum îi. Și pe niciun am insistat că nu am fost foarte interesat. Acum am un Mmdvt, un pen de aici, un ST70, care e destul de făinuț. Am parcă prea lat, dar așa merge bine și bateria nu ține foarte mult. Deși nu. Probabil că după mai multe încărcări își mai dă drumul, nu știu ce să zică. Asta chiar nu ține cu două, e dual band, are practic două frecvențe la recepție și mai te joci cu GPS, într-adevăr e și normal să se gate. Mai repede, dar asta nu are niciun motiv. E cu o singură frecvență, știi? Și GPS nici nu știu dacă are, dar nu l-am activat și dacă are. Economiul box încrescat 2 chiar de kilo.
This is Victor Uniform 2, Oscar Normal Tango. You're coming 5-9, my friend, over.
Și îl așteptai cu nerăbdare, ăla e scump.
Asta e avea ce camera. Da, au venit. Au venit de la Media Globe. Am comandat altul la Media Globe. Prima comandă a fost un fel de sponsorizare, nu știu, a fost în urmă. Da, asta e treaba. Și am comandat două și m-am ales cu una. Ce să faci, asta e viața, câteodată.
E bine, da, și ala de primat s-au întors să ia bani înapoi, nu? Nu cred că e plătit de 2 ori și au venit o stație numai.
Așa zice, da. Sper așa să fie, da. Nu știu acum. Poate să mai întâmplă și minuni.
Da, da, vezi că cel mai des întâmplă că plătești de 2 ori și ei numai o dată marfa. E mai bine când iei de 2 ori marfa și plătești numai o dată, știi? Poate așa se întâmplă. Dar e drept că e foarte rar. Cam asta e. Așa am plătit eu la chinez 2 Orange Power, care nu mai a ajuns, au trecut termenii. Am făcut vizita acolo și chinezul a întors banii. Nu chinezul, de fapt, AliExpress-ul. Au întors banii repede, știi, în 4 zile erau și banii pe card înapoi. Și la vreo 4 luni, mai bine, au venit și Orange Power. Între timp eu comandasem iar la chineză și ala altele 2, știi, care au venit la timp. Am ales cu 4. Dar asta e foarte rar. Și este nu-i motivul meu că nu le-am vrut să le plătesc. Au venit la timp și îmi trebuiau, știi. Asta e chestia critică, la tine înapoi.
Da, mă, dar tu ai nimerit un chinez cum se cade. Deci nu contează că e chinez, că e japonez, că e țigan, că e ce-o fi. Principalul să fie om și cum se cade, știi cum să zice.
Că eu am cunoscut și cu țigani, cum se carc, cum se cade și alte nații. Sunt tot felul de oameni în stările astea. Când ești cum se cade, părățești. Da, păi chinezul nu are nicio treabă, el și face. El expediază marfa la timp, nu că el nu expediază. Dar acolo e traseul, curierii, postele, nu știu de cine depinde care.